morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you may be. We are talking about Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Like I told you, when you get all the break times that come up and all the other stuff as far as people needing to find content, even the bigger platforms get into all types of conspiracy theories and all types of side stuff. But this is Max Verstappen registering or putting a false name or fake name on a car, which is a Ferrari, by the way, my ad. Max Verstappen in a Ferrari at the Nürburgring are doing some testing. I don't really understand what the big story is right here about this whole fake name. And with that being said, to me, it just comes off as Max Verstappen probably knew this would cause some type of, it would cause some type of commotion or somebody would write about it. I didn't find it that damn interesting more than what I'm about to talk about because, literally, I don't care what name's up there on the pillar, but it says Verstappen.com Racing. So who gives a damn about France Herman? It's Verstappen.com Racing. So I don't even understand how people made a big deal about, Max, testing under a fake name. What's up, Dreads? The name up there is still Verstappen's name's on the car, big as hell, even on the front windshield. It's on the front windshield, Verstappen.com. It's Max Verstappen. God damn, people. Not goddamn, forgive me, God, but devil damn, there'd be a lot of clout chasing going on out here, man. Be a lot of clout chasing going on. And, maybe probably some joke, at first until I got closer, I thought it said France Horman. So I thought Max, was Horman, but it's Herman. It's not a big deal. The bigger picture here, or maybe something to more look at, is Max Verstappen does do this testing, but maybe this is probably going to be happening more often because it's been several seasons, several years now, even post him winning a championship. Max Verstappen has either hinted, insinuated, or just flat out said he doesn't plan on being at Formula One well into his 40s. He doesn't plan on taking or being here as long as, what's going on, Dreads? I see you, brother. What's going on, people in the live chat? He doesn't plan on being here as long as Alonso or as long as Hamilton has. And at this point in time, Max Verstappen is 27, 28 years old. He's got a statistical 4 championships, and he's been with Red Bull since he's come in under Toro Rosso. And with that being the case, and him consistently talking about leaving Formula One and not staying in Formula One and doing other things in other racing series, like legitimately competing in other disciplines of motorsports, you got to probably start wondering if your boy might not be here long. You might want to start because I'm going to tell you this. I do not think that Max Verstappen is going to be the type of driver or the type of person that is going to weather a storm after having a piece of the pie. It was all good, when he wasn't winning, when he didn't win championships. But now that he's won championships, what's up, fam? Happy Tuesday to Paul. Smash the like button. Hope everyone's having a great day. Peace and love, fam. Peace and love to you. Peace and love to you, brother. But now that he's won championships, and I put that in quotations because I will just be straight up. I've said it plenty of times. There's a legit debate or argument to be had that Max Verstappen, I was about to say Max for Crash Strapping. I was about to say that, but Max Verstappen, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Max Verstappen right now. I'm not even trying to clown on Max right now. I'm actually being very serious about the outlook of Max's future in Formula One and maybe going elsewhere. Just had a daughter, had a kid, now he's having a family. His family tree or his family situation is not that great, as far as his dad's concerned. And I got to say, I'm a little concerned with seeing some of the things that Max has done as a person or some of the things that I will say Max has grown a little bit. Max has grown somewhat in some ways, very minimal compared to the other things that he's done. But I am a bit concerned about how he will be as a father to a daughter, let alone a son, because his father wasn't much of a father, great father to him, as an example of what a man should be, how a man should treat a woman, or how a man should conduct themselves in a public view. It's just a fact. He's not the best. Not saying people can't make mistakes and still, do some good things, but I am hoping that for Max Verstappen's daughter's sake, that he will indeed lead a better life as a father to his family than his dad was with him. Just keeping it a buck. And a lot of people be like, "Oh man, he got him in Formula One. He's there." That's okay. That's not the big things. That's like the meat and potatoes of being raised in a family. Because a lot of you use the excuse that Max was treated bad by his dad. That's why he is what apple can roll far away from the tree. So he's basically a surrogate for his dad's dreams that he was unable to fulfill. Let's just keep that also a buck, because Jos Verstappen was, he wasn't happening. Okay, so I'll say that he was not happening. He wasn't good in Formula One. I don't know what some other people will tell you or will try to say that Max Verstappen comes from greatness, but no, his dad was not good in Formula One. And we all should probably very well be knowledgeable about that. If you think Max Verstappen comes from a father who pretty much was a top-notch Formula One driver, think again. Paul, not the best character. Hopefully he does better with his dog. And that's what I'm also saying, Paul. That's what I'm also hoping for that young little girl's life, that he will be a better father. Because sometimes things like that can change you in life. Things like that can make you become a better person. And I am hoping for her sake that he can become that better person, because his dad wasn't shit. All right. So when it comes to being a Formula One driver, I mean, no wonder he likes to go by Johannes. Johannes. Yeah, that name right there. You probably got teased a lot about that name. All right. Verstappen. I mean, look at it. Yeah, he wasn't great. He wasn't that good. Not at all. 17 points in all of his Formula One career. So yeah, I've always kind of felt that he might be trying to live his life through his son, and being in that environment, in that experience, experiencing things vicariously through Max Verstappen. And those fathers sometimes are the worst, because kids don't technically understand why they're being treated or why they're being so scrutinized by somebody that they're kind of looking to for a little nurturing, some hard love too, but it just seems a little bit, where's his focus coming from? And those type of parents, I've seen them at Little League, I've seen them in Pee Wee, I've seen them at the track. I've seen parents that didn't happen to go as far as they wanted, and maybe their dreams, and maybe had to go and do something else, and now their kid shows an interest in it, so they put them in it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't become about the kid being the best that they can be in the sport. It becomes about the kid being what you never were in the sport. And those kids get treated very harshly, very unjust in according to what's going on, and it impacts them. And the parents look like total dipshits. I'm just going to keep it a buck. And that's Jos Verstappen. That's Johannes Verstappen. So, yeah, I'm hoping Max can be a better dad to his daughter, because she deserves it. Little girls deserve dads, and sons deserve their dads and their moms and parents and all of that. It's very important. And if you haven't had that majority of the time in your life, you can kind of see the shortcomings of things that you might have emotionally, mentally, or, physically, how those things can impact you. So, yeah, but Max Verstappen, I think, is not the type of driver, as far as his character and what we're seeing right now with Red Bull, to weather a storm if Red Bull is going to go through it like Mercedes did. And I've said this. So if this is the case, I also would like to say there are not a lot of people that leave a team as far as championships and go elsewhere and still are able to duplicate that. Very few. Lewis Hamilton has done that. Okay, Lewis Hamilton has done that. McLaren, Mercedes. Now, if he does it with Ferrari, he'll be one or two or three drivers to ever have done it. But I'm talking about players across the world. Brady did it with the Patriots. Then he went to Tampa Bay, took one there. LeBron James has done it from Miami to Cleveland to LA. It's just not common. And I will say Michael Jordan never did it. Kobe never did it. As great as they are, and as GOAT-like as Michael Jordan was for his era, and now LeBron James for his, Kobe and Jordan didn't do that. Kobe and Jordan never proved outside of the Bulls or the Lakers system, could you then formulate to win another championship elsewhere? It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. And some people fear trying to do it because it's very hard to be at the top and then consider leaving where you're comfortable to go somewhere and try to something completely new and try to do it again. I don't think that's Max Verstappen. Unless there's a surefire, and nothing is surefire, but there are some things that are close. Unless it's as close to surefire, I don't think Max Verstappen goes to Aston Martin. I don't think he goes to Mercedes. I think Max Verstappen is the type of guy to say, you know what? I came into this with Red Bull. I achieved 4 world driving championships with Red Bull, equal Sebastian Vettel, didn't exceed it, but I equaled it. I got a family now. Things are not going so great with Red Bull. I don't know what the future of Red Bull is going to hold. The new air regulations are going to change. I don't want to be here till I'm 40. It's not that I'm creeping up on 40, but I'm 28 years old, 27 years old. And quite frankly, I might like to take my talent and my ability as being at the peak of my ability and try another racing discipline. Maybe it's still for Red Bull, but it's not here in Formula One. Maybe it's somewhere else. Because if you go somewhere else, you're not doing so good, you're just starting. All right. You're not starting as a champion there. You're trying to become a champion there. And maybe your hunger is even different, right? Maybe things are just completely different. And maybe the schedule is different. Maybe the demand is different. Maybe Max Verstappen will decide that, you know what, I'm just going to try to dial back and relax a bit more, but still enjoy doing what I have a passion doing, which is racing cars, and do it in a different way where it's not so much pressure. There's not so many things that I have to be obligated to. And he's not obligated to as much as Lewis Hamilton or somebody is, and he's not that type of person because he's not very marketable as far as his personality and his character, and especially on camera. I saw the Red Bull ad for that cleaner they got. I even saw it in an auto parts store, and even his part on there was very dry, lackluster, and it wasn't great. If it wasn't for the fact that his name's Max Verstappen attached to being a 4-time world champion, it's not even interesting. It's not even interesting at all, but it's not even noteworthy. And Max is just not that type of guy. He's going to be on the sim. He's going to be inside. He's going to be secluded. He's an introvert. And next thing you know, that's just what it is. So there's not a lot of dollars coming in from ad dollars. Max Verstappen's money is going to have to be from his acts in motorsports, his investments in maybe teams and maybe other companies, but it is not going to be on the level ever. It's never going to be on the level of Lewis Hamilton. Never. Not one iota single bit. It's not going to even be close. Okay? It's not even going to be close. But he's still going to have a very good life, very privileged life. And that is good enough, I think, for somebody like Max Verstappen. I think Max is cool with that. I think and honestly, as I don't call Max toxic, he's just a dirtbag at times. He does unworthy, unbecoming character-like things on track. He says things that are a bit assholish and disrespectful and at times derogatory. I don't know if he's toxic. So somebody like Max, although assholish personality, I don't know if Max really enjoys the situations that have unfolded at Red Bull because it impacts his ability to perform on track. What's up, Baraka? Congratulations to my brother Baraka graduating, achieving levels of education and putting those education elements to work, my brother. I just want to send a big shout out to you, bro. It's always a pleasure to see people excelling, my brothers and sisters excelling in life, and you are doing a good job. Sup, fam? Hope all is well. Can't really judge his character because I don't personally know him. Kimmy Antonelli said he's a pretty cool guy, so I don't know. And that's the thing. I think we've all known some assholes that can be pretty cool people. Some people say I can be an asshole, and it depends on how they look at me. But I'm a really cool character, integrity, honor type dude. It is true. Nowhere near like Max Verstappen. Like, I mean, to say the things that he says to certain people or do the things he does, but it's all in perspective, right? But we can also look what Kimmy Antonelli said about Max Verstappen. It might be in a small window of experience, might be a very small sample size. I'm pretty sure Kimmy Antonelli's not going to have the things to say about Max Verstappen as he would about Lewis Hamilton. I'm pretty sure two people spend 3 days, because you need at least 3 days. You spend 3 days with Max Verstappen, spend 3 days with Lewis Hamilton. I'm pretty sure your experiences are going to be different. I'm pretty sure if you had the ability to just look and see, it would be different because they are different. And honestly, regardless of what Kimmy Antonelli said with that very small childlike sample size, we've watched Max Verstappen throughout his time and the many things that he said and the many things that he's done to know, okay, he might be a cool guy in some ways, but definitely in majority ways, his character is crap from what we've seen. Personally, meeting him is different, but we do have samples throughout his, 13 seasons, 12 seasons, anywhere from 12 to 13 seasons of Formula One. We got enough sample size to kind of decide like, some character traits there that just not so great. Paul in there says, unfortunately, it's the way Max was brought up. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Congrats, Barack and Smash alike. Yes, but the apple can. True, brother. True. But the apple can. And in my situation, it has. And I think some of us in here could say it has. But you are correct. Unfortunately, a lot of apples drop and they just stay close and near to the tree. Now, we all know Max Verstappen's put his hands on Ocon in the garage. He's, called George Russell a dickhead on camera, worldwide TV right there. We've listened to him use derogatory terminology and almost cultural disrespectful terminology to the point where there was an outlash, there was a public outlash about Max Verstappen and his comments. We've heard him use these things against Lance Stroll and many other things. So we got enough sample size to see like, yeah, he ain't okay. I ain't gonna say he's not the best. I'm saying, yeah, it ain't so great. But I have seen moments where Max Verstappen indeed does have moments where it seems like, yeah, he can be a pretty cool dude. In windows. But yeah, you're right, Baraga. We don't personally know him. Never personally spent time with him. I know the opportunity I had to meet him. I wasn't interested in meeting him. I wasn't interested in stopping to say hello. I wasn't interested when I could tell in passing he was looking to see if I was going to look for a picture, and I didn't. Same thing with Helmut Marko. I looked at him and walked right by him like he wasn't even standing there. And you could tell some people when you're in certain situations, it's not like we were in a situation where it was a lot of people. I wish I would have had the opportunity with Lewis Hamilton, but I didn't. In that situation, I damn sure would have got a picture and talked to him like I did with Sebastian Vettel, like I did with Lando Norris and, Lawrence Barretto and several other people where I was in Zach Brown, when I was in close quarters and in proximity where we were literally in the same space without a bunch of people around. I just didn't care. I didn't care to even want to talk to Max. I didn't care to even want to take a picture with Max or none of that. Just didn't care. Because it's just certain people that you see. I'm not a starstruck person anyway, but it's certain people you don't mind like, hey man, let me catch a picture. Boom. Just to make this time, this moment, just kind of save your moment. I just really didn't care, man. I mean, I was from here and Max Verstappen was literally less than 5 feet away from me. It's not a lot of people around us. And I just kept going. I didn't even break my stride. Me and Helmut Marko were literally not even 6 inches from each other. And I just looked at him my face, I always wear what I'm thinking on my face. I literally could feel my face just look at him while he's looking at me just like, you're a piece of shit. And just we right there in the stairwell together, and not just like didn't even care. It's just certain people you don't even care to even want to try to mark that with. And with things that they say, and we know Helmut Marko has said a lot of racial tone things. We already know that. So yeah. But hey, maybe some people have an awesome experience with Max, and that's cool. And that's a good thing. Marciano, Dave's Quattro, Hira, what's going on, man? Everybody, peace and love to y'all. So yeah, that's how I feel. But this whole situation with the name of Max and the fake name, it doesn't matter. The Max's name is on the side of the car. That's all clout chase. I think the bigger picture here is Max starting to move into a window where he's about to become comfortable to make a decision to not be in Formula One anymore. Is he about to be in a window where he's going to think, you know what? I don't want to try to do this all the way over again with another Formula One team. I just want to retire a Red Bull driver and leave Formula One right here. Because some people want to do that. Some people want to leave at a mark where there's not a lot of downside to say as far as my level of competing in a season. There's a lot of debate and garbage behind me, and there's always going to be, because it's legitimate, because a lot of it is factual. But as far as me as a competitor competing at a high level and not having to go through the situations like Alonso to now go through the situation like Lewis Hamilton is. Lewis Hamilton went through and then came out on top. Winning McLaren, came out on top. Winning Mercedes, came out on top. Probably will go into Ferrari. Now we're wondering if he's going to come out on top. A lot of people don't have the guts and endurance for that. And I don't think Max has the tolerance. I don't think he has the patience and endurance for that. He might go into enduro racing, but I don't think he has an endurance to stomach that. And so he might just say, yo, I'm good. I'm about to go do something else. And I think that's what the bigger story is here. Verstappen.com racing is cool. He's got a racing team, racing squad. He can do that. There's a lot of things that Max Verstappen can do within motorsports and enjoy his life. And that is probably good enough for him. That's probably good enough for him. He's probably good with that. And that's probably where he's going to have to be good. As small as, and maybe small other, or not even small. I don't want to compartmentalize or restrict his ability of investing in something and it becoming large, but his investments probably still in this same genre will be good for Max. He seems like the type of person where he doesn't need a lot of the other things and he could just be good right here. And that's probably best for him because he knows himself. He does not going to do well with a lot of things. Max is not going to walk into the room and win a room. Max is not walking into a room and you're going to have this awe factor of when he starts talking and when he starts, trying to do something. He's not that dude. He doesn't show us that. And so that's not well for him. Lewis Hamilton can walk into a room and win a room. Baraka, precise, that love, black silver engineer. Now, hey, man, brother, I love it, man. I love it. Let's put some Wolfpack emojis up in here for our graduate, the black silver engineer Baraka, man. I'm putting some Wolfpack emojis up in here for you, brother. Congratulations, man. I just love it. This is the type of channel we are. Other channels probably not going to even recognize you for anything like that. They don't even give a damn about you. Right? But I care about that. Big shout out, Baraka. And I had already congratulated my brother on social media, even outside of here, but it's good to see him pop up. Now he can probably get involved a little bit more before he gets heavy into some task, into his corporate, his next level of life. So we'll see what happens with Max Verstappen. I do think he jumped ship. I don't think that he goes to Aston Martin, but he could. And if he does, we'll see how that turns out. But then if he does, we got to kind of find out what they're going to do with all the other array of drivers. Is Alonso leaving? Is he retiring? Max is in because Lance Stroll has damn near an indefinite seat there, unwarranted. And definitely not deserved with what he's done. And Felipe Drugovich is just being held up. So I don't know. We'll see. But, I think that's the more interesting thing. This whole fake name is all clout chase. But the real story is Max about to make his transition into something else that he might enjoy more at this stage of his life. So that's what I think. So big shout out to everybody pulling it for live. Big shout out to Paul in the Super Chat. Big shout out to 083, Marciano. Big shout out to Days Quattro, Hira, Dreads, Baraka, salute. And big shout out to you, my brother. Keep excelling and improving in life. Miss Dino, big shout out to you. Who else do we got in here today? Yep, that's it. That's it that pulled up today. So big shout out to you all. I will see you soon. It's time for me to go chill, sit down. And peace and love. Y'all be happy, drink water, stay healthy. Please stay healthy. It's a hard road travel depending on where your health can go. I will see you all soon. Later. Oh, we are in the race week, so we definitely going to see each other soon. Peace out.